Let's have a look at the key thing. And again, migration to me is the most important factor in our property market, the most important factor in our economy. This population growth that we've had now for 30, 40 years is the thing that makes Australia's economy safer, better and more stable than any other economy in the world. It also is the thing that masks the fact that we're quite inefficient in our economy. The fact that we've got more customers every year, is good for any business, but we are growing our economy at a lower pace than our population. And therefore that tells me that if we get lower growth than population, we're not very efficient and our businesses aren't growing as efficiently as they could be. But it covers up a lot of the cracks and it's a good thing. But what has happened is the last year in particular, population growth has gone through the roof. And you can see to the year to 23, 659,000 more Australians, roughly 400,000 odd migrants, and about 200,000 net births. And that is a record. We've never been that high before. In fact, the September number was the highest since 1981, and the top three was September, June and March 23. So our last three were the highest percentage growth ever in Australia's history. And where that's particularly scary, it's off a much, much bigger base. So when it was 2% growth back in 2007, 2009, the population was 22, 23 million. It's now 27. So when you've got 2%, 2.9, 2.5 on 27 million base, that's a lot more quantum as well as percentage. Now this means that we're going to stay in high demand because the great thing from the economy is 659,000 people need breakfast every day now. 659,000 people need somewhere to sleep, somewhere to drive, somewhere to walk, a school. So this is what is stimulating economic activity at a better direction than any other thing. It keeps our consumers going, it keeps our retailers strong, it puts pressure on the government for services, but it's also putting a massive amount of revenue because this is 600,000 future taxpayers. And this is not going to slow down much in the near future. But you can see these levels. New South Wales up from 2.3% from last year, 1.3% growth. And 0.3 during COVID had bottomed out. Victoria went minus, but has now come back in strength to 2.9. And we told you that would happen because China changed the rules last February to say that the students that were forced to leave during COVID had to go back on campus to finish their studies. And that's seen that surge of people come back to Victoria. And that's important because as you'll see in the property market, there was a whole amount of vacancy in Victoria, and that's been sucked up with all these students coming back. And WA is the star, 3.3%. That is an unbelievable population growth number, one of the highest in the world, and certainly the highest in the Western world. So you'll get population growth of 3% plus in third world countries, where it's just more and more people being born for the sake of it, but not in the Western world. So these rates are phenomenal. And again, they're qualified or they're cashed up. Only 5, 6, 7% refugee, the rest high quality migration, which is our secret weapon in Australia. Now this is what's going to keep fueling economic and property growth. And this is going to keep us in good stead for many, many years.